Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Welcome, Primetime local viewers. Josh and Abby here for another 2 hours of news, weather, sports, and more. Beautiful day in the border city. The only thing hotter than the weather conditions was the performance of the Lion King remake that came out this weekend. Nearly $200 million and probably still going for another couple weeks.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to keep, that number is going to keep rising and rising, because you're going to get the generation that, missed the original Lion King, little kids. And then you're also going to get the generation of, oh yeah, the Lion King was a huge part of our childhood. Exactly. So now we're going to watch this. And
of course, we want to hear from you guys. What did you think of the Lion King remake? We'll address that, of course, in Question of the Day. For now, let's go out to Eric Bay, who was on location earlier.
Thanks, guys. Well, today we're out here by River Course and we're checking out Empowering Equines, which is some equine assisted learning. And what they do is they use horses to help children with stuff like anxiety and stress, and again, help reduce that through the horses. So they do a ton of different stuff here during their sessions, and we're going to be talking a bit about what they do here, what some of the kids have gone through and their experiences in the program. But before we get to that, we are going to head back into the studio where Abby has a look at your local news.
Thanks, Eric. Well, a dramatic twist in British Columbia. 2 missing teenagers are now considered to be suspects in the death of 3 people in the northern part of the province. Police say the 2 teens have fled the province, triggering a manhunt in the prairies. Cam McLeod and Briar Schmegleski, originally from Port Alberni on Vancouver Island, were last seen in northern Saskatchewan. They are being sought in connection with the murder of 2 young tourists, one from Australia and one from the U.S., as well as the death of another man whose body was found in Dease Lake. Here's more from the RCMP.
Given these latest developments, Cam and Briar are no longer considered missing. The RCMP are now considering Cam McLeod and Briar Schmegleski as suspects in the Dease Lake suspicious death and the double homicide of Lucas Fowler and China Dease. We're asking for the public, if you spot Briar or Cam, consider them dangerous.
Now that a heat wave has finally hit the border city, law enforcement and animal activists are reminding people to not leave their pets in a vehicle unattended, as it is illegal to do so when it could endanger the animal's health or safety. Even brief stops on relatively mild days where your pet is left alone are dangerous, as temperatures inside the vehicle can double in half an hour.
It takes, 2 minutes for it to get even hotter than it is outside already. So it's really dangerous for them to stay in that hot vehicle for longer than any time period, really, in my opinion.
Another common mistake is failing to make sure that animals traveling in vehicles are hydrated.
There's tons of things out at the pet stores, like the fold-up bowls or even the cloth bowls. You can take anything like that and just put some water in there really quick and make sure that they're hydrated.
Taking similar precautions to any outdoor activities also makes a difference.
Obviously, if you have an outdoor animal, they're going to be climatized to the elements, right? But they should always still have water available somewhere shady to go hide and get out of the sun, things like that. Because, really, even if you like plus 30 weather kind of thing, you do eventually want to hide in the shade just to cool off.
If you see an animal locked inside a vehicle, call the RCMP. The 4th cannabis store here in the border city recently opened and is offering a place and products not commonly seen. Our Jasmine King has more.
The first of its kind cannabis store, Lab 001, opened early July with a goal in mind to set themselves apart from the other dispensaries, starting with an age gate which is made to look like a laundromat.
This is going to be Collab's flagship store, so they wanted it to be kind of what also goes into their next stores that they have coming out. And of course, they wanted the look and feel to be something new, to be something different, and to really make you feel comfortable when you walk in.
This is the first dispensary to open on the Saskatchewan side in the border city, and since the rules for licensing differ for both provinces, they had to get creative on how to open their new store.
When it comes to Saskatchewan, it's actually like a licensing lottery where you're awarded the store or the area in which you can build. So once they were awarded Lloydminster, they started building, and they actually are very proud to be here now.
Not only do they feature their products and other equipment, they also offer merchandise. The modernization of everything they offer is what they hope can help them succeed.
We want to offer the full experience when you come in here. Basically, we want you to come in here. Our guides will take you through your journey and then help you understand. If you're a first-time user, you'll leave here knowing that you have safe quality products and that you will know how to properly use them when you get home. We wanted to offer both ends of it, not just the cannabis.
Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
Firefighters save lives every day, and the Lloydminster Fire Department is going the distance by helping to save lives across the world by donating retired gear to a community in the Ukraine.
We've decided to donate all of our outdated equipment to Ukraine, and specifically to Nikopol. The City of Lloydminster, the council approved a sister city agreement with Nikopol, Ukraine. It's a wonderful agreement between the two great cities of different countries, and as a part of that, it gave me the idea that we do have a bunch of outdated fire equipment from the Lloydminster Fire Department that is no longer usable and safe within the Lloydminster Fire Department with all the standards that we have here in Canada and North America. Ukraine and other countries like that don't have the same requirements that we do here in Canada for our equipment and turnaround. And a lot of their gear, I've actually got the chance to see some of the gear they're using, and it's well below our modern requirements here. So even our outdated gear that we're sending there is going to greatly enhance the capabilities of their fire service.
The station gives more than just equipment.
It's excellent for us to be able to do this and partner with organizations internationally to hopefully be able to save lives, not only as citizens of Nikopol, but as well as the firefighters.
Agriculture and technology go hand in hand and have always been growing alongside each other over the years. A new exhibit at the Lloyd Cultural and Science Center is putting that combination on center stage. The Space to Spoon exhibit is a traveling exhibition developed by the Canada Food and Agriculture Museum that informs people about Earth orbiting satellites and their benefits to Canadian farmers and sustainable agriculture.
I think it's very important to Lloydminster because of the agricultural industry that's here. So digital imaging technology helps farmers basically reduce or increase crop yields by reducing the effort put into harvesting and farming the fields.
Since opening on July 8th, the bilingual exhibit is a hands-on experience for everyone to try and learn more about farming.
We've seen people, because of the school year ending, we've seen a lot of kids. This is also a hands-on. Each kiosk has an interactive panel so that you can learn how to farm. You can learn whether or not you have to water or weed or harvest your crop.
The exhibit is open until September 4th. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here talking about empowering equines, and I'm joined now by Roxanne Collinson, and we're talking again about the empowering equines. So can you tell us a little bit about the equine-assisted therapy?
Sure. So basically, equine-assisted therapy is using horses to teach children and youth basic life skills. So anywhere from teamwork to making choices, to respect, to just learning to work together, decision-making. So yeah, it's no different than any other life skills program. The only difference is we add horses to ours.
And now, where did the idea, or how did you get into this and using horses as part of that training and therapy?
I've always, I grew up around horses. I've always had a strong love for them. I know with myself, I always understood there was a connection between horses and children. I've worked for various agencies working with children for the last 15 years, and I work for the school division, and this was a way of combining my passion and my full-time job at once, and yeah, kind of using what I love to do and helping kids at the same time.
That's awesome. And now, what are some of the things that the kids will be doing here as they take part in the program?
Some of the things they're doing is they're just learning how to correctly groom the horse, how to care for the horse. There's always a safety piece to that. And then they're going to learn how to maneuver the horse through some obstacles and learn the life skills while they're doing it.
All right, awesome. Thank you for this. We are going to have some more back from here, once again talking about the empowering equines. But before we get to that, we are going to head back into the studio.
Looks cooler in there than it's been outside in Lloydminster. 29 and very sunny in the border city, and that should continue on for the rest of the evening. Clear skies and hot summer weather ahead for those who get the chance to spend some time outside. Similar weather back in 2007 where you had your record high. Not so much back in 2001, unfortunately. There is some wind out of the south-southeast, but only a mild 10 kilometers per hour, so that's really just taking the edge off more than anything else. Because of this heat wave, we do have watches and warnings in effect throughout Saskatchewan and Alberta. Specifically in northwest Saskatchewan, there's basically a heat warning in the entire region, so that applies certainly to St. Walburg, Meadow Lake, Maidstone, the Battlefords, and more. On the Alberta side, that's also in effect for some parts of the Midwest, but largely in the Lakeland region, especially as far west as Edmonton. And because of that low pressure system we talked about yesterday that is on its way towards this region, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch west of Edmonton, certainly up into the northwest, and a severe thunderstorm warning as well the further west you go into Alberta. Lloydminster again sitting at 29, and it's basically similar temperatures across the board there with 29 in Meadow Lake, 30 in North Battleford, as well as in Isle Cross and in Saskatoon. Edmonton also a little bit of cloud cover, but still sitting strong at 29 degrees. And your next 3 days look a little bit less promising than the last couple, but still relatively high temperatures. 24 and 18 tomorrow with the chance of showers amidst sun and cloud. Then 19 and 12 on Thursday where there's an outside chance of rain, but mostly just cloudy conditions with wind coming out of the west-northwest. Then largely sunny on Friday, high of 25, a low of 12, and that wind will calm down to just under 20 kilometers per hour. We'll have more weather for you later in the show.
Welcome back. Well, cattle producers in Saskatchewan are applauding the federal livestock tax deferral for sales due to drought this year. The livestock tax deferral map covers the southern two-thirds of the Saskatchewan grain belt. The manager of the Saskatchewan Stock Growers, Chad McPherson, says the announcement is timely and will allow producers to make decisions such as whether to buy animals or feed. Saskatchewan Cattlemen CEO Ryder Lee says they would have liked to see the announcement earlier, but is glad their advocacy paid off. And now we're going to take a look at your egg prices.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
4 more tour stops is what separates the CPCA from the championships here in Lloydminster. The second half of the schedule following the Calgary Stampede is now underway, kicking off in Little Pine, Saskatchewan this past weekend. And for one storied driver, this home stretch of races marks the end of a decorated career. Josh Park reports.
The CPCA has touched down once again following the Stampede, and Little Pine First Nation was the starting blocks. 24 drivers hit the dirt track for 3 days of chuck wagon racing, including a man who was on the final laps of his goodbye tour.
Off the two-barrel, Ray Mitsui and the Gold Horse Casino.
At the age of 65, Ray Mitsui is coming off his final Calgary Stampede, as the former chief of Loon Lake First Nation is no longer eligible to compete at the tour's biggest stop. Although he is still allowed to race on the CPCA tour, as most drivers do, Mitsui has decided to call it a career at 65. For Mitsui, he's not getting too ahead of himself and enjoying this final stretch.
And that's what the chief Ray Mitsui's doing. Gold Horse Casino.
Well, in a way, yeah, but each race I just take it one day at a time and don't get too excited and just keep on trucking.
Having such a storied career just like Mitsui does could make it hard to choose a favorite memory. 7 Canadian championships, countless stampedes, but for him, it's hard to pinpoint a top moment.
It's so hard to pick out a favorite memory that because we had such a success in wagon racing, whether it's Calgary or here, it's hard to pick one special one for me because they're all special as far as I'm concerned.
As Mitsui and the other riders begin this second half of the season, 3 events now remain before the championships in Lloydminster beginning August 14th, which for Mitsui could mark a picture-perfect finish to a great career.
Best thing that could possibly happen to me is win another championship and shut it down that way. That'd be the most thing I want to go for.
Josh Park, Primetime Local Sports.
Now we're going to go inside the CPCA with Greg Buchanan.
Inside the CPCA, brought to you by the Canadian Professional Chuckwagon Association.
Welcome to this week's edition of Inside the CPCA, and inside Little Pine show champion here, Jamie Labicane, for a 3rd straight year. You're the show champion here in Little Pine, and it came down to 1/100ths of a second for a day money win, 2nd straight day money win by 1/100ths of a second, and it came down to 1/100ths of a second to win the show. It is very tight.
It's very tight. It's a tough go here. I mean, I got day money 2 nights in a row, but just because of some penalties some other guys got, I mean, my outfit's starting, turning, and running hard too, but it's tough. It's a tough go, and Todd hooked his 2nd outfit tonight and didn't have maybe as strong as run as he could have, but you know what? It's a win's a win. We're climbing in the standings, and I'm looking to get into that top 4, and this is a good start.
3rd straight year you won here in Little Pine. Why have you had so much success here?
I don't know. Like I always say, I come out of Calgary and things seem to click. Maybe I hold back in Calgary, not wanting to switch too much up and get myself in trouble, and then I come out of here, look at videotapes, decide which horses are working the best, and throw it together, and it's been working so far. And I got pretty lucky with this new left leader. He's thrown in the mix, and he wouldn't have got a shot if it wasn't for some other key injuries to some horses, but glad to have him.
Okay, you looked a few weeks ago that you were on the outside looking into that top 4 spot. Now you're climbing up in the standings. What would it mean for you to be in that top 4?
It's what I shoot for, every year. 2 things: to win Calgary, and the other thing is to win that truck at the end. And I've come close a couple of years, been in there a few times, but I'm looking to climb as high as I can to give me the best shot of winning that truck.
There you go. Jamie Labicane for Inside the CPCA, 3rd straight winner of the Little Pine First Nation show.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here now. Today we've been talking about the Empowering Equines, which is some equine-assisted therapy, and I'm now joined by a few people who have gone through it, Clayton, Taylor, and Tristan. And now, can you tell us a little bit about your experiences or what you did last year?
Well, we kind of went through with the horses, and we started with grooming and then walked them through some of the obstacle course things, and part of it was to help increase self-assurance, lower anxiety, and raise self-confidence.
And now, after going through this, did you guys see an improvement in that lowering the anxiety and kind of that boost in self-confidence?
Definitely. Yeah, I noticed quite a bit in mine, for me, but that's my opinion.
No, that's good for sure. And now, coming back into it now, what made you guys want to come back and take the program once again here?
Well, the offer, like we did it last year, it was amazing, and so it was kind of nice to do it again.
And now, if you could recommend this to anybody else who may be willing to try it, want to try it, what would you say to those people if you did want to maybe convince them to take part?
Do it. It's amazing. I'd say it's totally worth it. It helps increase your self-confidence and lower anxiety, as well as you get to meet new people, and it's just a great group.
And now again, you guys are just starting to take it again, but talk a little bit about what you guys did actually do as part of the program there last year.
Well, we worked together with the other kids here, and just, like I said, started grooming and then walked the horses through that. It's one of the things that we were told is that if we were riding, it would be like we're trying to lead the horses instead of right now they're leading us and trying to teach us as well.
And now, just really quick, as we are running out of time, what are you guys looking the most forward to about taking this again?
I love the animals, so that's the bonus.
Yourself?
I'm just excited because I love doing it.
All right, awesome. And for you, what are you most looking forward to?
Just a great group of people.
All right, thank you guys so much for doing this. We're going to have some more back from here once again, but before that, we are going to head back into the studio.
As you can see on the far side of your map, that severe thunderstorm watch, that system is going to make its way through our region over the course of tonight, maybe late into the evening, but we will have that particular system heading over the Midwest, so plenty of cloud cover, outside chance of showers, and that's followed by further clouds over the course of Wednesday, where there's about a 57% chance of more showers at the moment. Otherwise, we have a heat wave still in effect, so we have plenty of areas underneath a heat warning, particularly in the Lakeland region and in the Battlefords as well. Now, your next 24 hours, not a steep drop-off, but a fairly rapid drop-off as we get into midnight, and then it'll still be a relatively warm evening, only dropping down to 18 degrees, but right by 9 a.m. we'll jump back into the 20s and hang out in the 20s basically for the rest of the afternoon. Your wind chill here, as you can see, only affecting the temperature a little bit. There is some stronger winds coming in over the course of the next 48 hours, and so by about 4 or 5 p.m. that could drop the temperature, or in terms of how the temperature feels, by about 5 or 6 degrees, which is a little bit more than usual, but still nothing drastic. There's no 40 to 50 miles per hour or kilometers per hour winds coming at the moment. The outside chance of a gust is still just an outside chance at that. 29 in Marwayne and in Vermilion, as well as in Bonnyville, Cold Lake, and St. Paul, basically the entire Lakeland region staying at 29 degrees. That's also the temperature in Edmonton, 28 in Vegreville. Then we move over to the Sask side where it's 30 in Green Lake, 30 in Meadow Lake, and it's also 29 degrees in St. Walburg. Maidstone holding strong at 31 degrees, as is Provost and Macklin, while North Battleford is at 30 degrees. The next 24 hours relatively clear in that region, though they should expect some rain as well by tomorrow. Southeast winds will continue to stay strong. Not much of a drop off between now and tomorrow. 16 the low overnight, and 26 will be tomorrow's high. In Cold Lake, 29 degrees and no breeze going on at the moment, despite the graphic of moving clouds there. 17 overnight with east-southeast winds, still relatively calm though at only 7 kilometers per hour. Slight pickup into tomorrow when that system hits a high of 24 and those winds coming out of the southeast. Still warm afternoon, just a chance of showers, particularly in the afternoon. Now Lloydminster again sitting at 29, will drop to 18. Southeast winds picking up just a little bit over the next 24 hours, and then a high of 24 expected. Outside chance of thunderstorm, it is an outside chance though at that. Then 19 and 12 on Thursday, where we were initially predicting a fair amount of rain coming, but that has decreased to just 41%. Still some strong winds out of the west-northwest. 25 degrees on Friday, relatively sunny, then 21 on Saturday with a strong chance of rain there. Wind will shift back to the southeast on Sunday where there's a high of 19, then 22 degrees on both Monday and Tuesday with a mix of sun and cloud to finish off your 7-day forecast. We'll have more at the end of the cast. For now, let's take a short break.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here and we've been talking about empowering equines, and we just spoke with a few kids who have gone through the program, and now we're joined by their mother, Janice Russell. So first off, can you tell us maybe about how you possibly heard about the program and what kind of made you want to sign your kids up for it?
Well, it actually was through a counselor at the school, and she'd been working with the kids, and so she suggested it, and we were in touch with Roxy, and of course, at that point, especially our middle daughter was going through a fair bit of anxiety issues and whatnot. Our kids have Tourette syndrome, so it's a fairly intense neurological disorder that involves, a lot of motor movements, vocal tics, whatnot. And so we've heard lots and lots about horse therapy and, the wonderful things that it can do for these kids. So for me, it was just a no-brainer. It was like, really, honestly, it was great opportunity, so we jumped at it, so for sure.
No, that's great for sure. Now, can you talk maybe a little bit about what your kids did go through as they were going through the program, maybe what they did and what you saw from them?
Sure. Yeah, I would say probably like for my oldest and my youngest, they love animals, so it was not a problem, although they were learning that, they had to listen to the instructor, they had to listen to the horses, they had to do what they were told to do, so that was a really positive thing. For Taylor, it was was a really amazing thing because she was so anxious and so nervous about the animals, and we watched an improvement and an incredible amount of positive things from her for sure. So.
No, that's awesome to hear. And now they're doing it again. So just real quick here, what made you guys maybe want to bring them back, and what are you looking forward to from them doing this experience again?
Oh, I just honestly think that it's one of the best things that is there for them. It's what's amazing is with these horses, we don't see them tick. Like I can see her walk with the horses, and she just is quiet and doesn't even phase them. But yeah, just to give them that confidence, working with such a big animal and be able to find some happy there, I think it's fantastic.
All right, thank you so much for doing this. We're going to have some more back from here, but before that, we are going to head back into the studio.
Question of the day, a big one for Disney fans. Obviously, many people excited about the remake of The Lion King hitting theaters this past weekend, possibly breaking some future box office records. A few comments. Some people liked the movie. Samantha thought, though, they were missing a couple of the best parts. She really missed having the hyena laugh.
Yes.
So not all of the very favorite parts of the movie for some people were present in this new one.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I did miss like the laughing a bit of the hyenas, because that's so, iconic
even,
with hyenas in the wild, especially.
Yeah.
I thought the movie was visually spectacular. I thought the visuals were just breathtaking, so gorgeous. I think the iconic scenes were really well done. Like, they really stayed true to the original, and they added elements. They added a couple scenes to highlight Nala, and they added more comedy to it, which I really, really enjoyed. I thought that maybe Donald Glover and Beyonce, they could have been better, but they were still really good.
And some people were saying that could be a prospect of just they may have not been filming together.
Yeah, they did not voice
Right.
their scenes together. They voiced them separately. And I thought that maybe if they voiced them together, it would have been so much better. Their voices would have melded a lot more.
Hopefully, if we get a Lion King remake sequel, perhaps we will get them in the same studio, and who knows, maybe their chemistry will improve. Let's improve on this segment by adding pets. Start with Pet of the Day. So that's Sophie to kick everything off.
Very, very adorable.
Next up here, we have Daisy. That's some really good photo work there.
Very obviously enjoying outdoors. Gorgeous photo as well.
And Fudge is not enjoying the outdoors or anything, it seems like.
Yeah, but still cute. Gorgeous eyes. I love cat's eyes. Very, very gorgeous color.
Indeed. And next, a parrot submitted by Amanda. We don't see a lot of parrots on the show.
No, but very cute. I love how he's positioned. Just very cute.
And lastly, a critter who's trying to fit into a box, it looks like.
Yes, classic cat trying to fit into a box. If it fits, it sits. Very, very cute.
And finally, submit the pictures, submit the pet. You can win a free gift card from PetPad.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the PetPad.
I'm joined here with Becca from the SPCA, and we have two beautiful cats. The one I'm holding right here is Grayson, and the one Becca has is Missy, and they came as a kind of like a duo. They aren't from the same litter, but they did come from the same home.
Yes.
Why were they brought to the SPCA?
They just couldn't be in the home anymore. I think they had to go into a home, so unfortunately they did have to come to us. Missy is a little bit nervous today, but yeah, so we are trying to adopt them out as a bonded pair, just because they only really seem to know each other in an apartment kind of sized place. So initially, even when they first came to the SPCA, they were a little bit afraid. And goodness, sorry. And yeah, so I mean, like I said, normally Missy is not like this. She is just a little bit scared right now. So I'm just trying to make her a little more comfortable. But yes, we are just trying to find them homes together, and hopefully they can be the most comfortable when they do go being together.
And so how are they, obviously this isn't a good portrayal of how they normally are. How normally do they behave, or how are they together?
Yeah, they're very lounge type cats. They like to have just a sunbeam to lay in, or just a couch to cuddle up on. They, like I said, they're very much I just want to lay around and eat some food and just kind of hang out. I mean, obviously they need a little bit of a diet here, but yeah, they may be big, but they really don't take up too much space, and they're quite quiet.
And, you said that they're a bonded pair. Why is that kind of important for them to stick together?
We're doing that for them. Like, normally we don't really have much of an issue separating them, but, just because they are most comfortable when they are together. When they are separated, they seem to be a bit stressed out. And, so that's kind of why we want to go that route with them. Just so they are, like I said, just the most comfortable that they can be in their new home environment.
And have you noticed anything of how they are with other cats or even other dogs?
I noticed today that she was a little bit hissy with her next door condo neighbor, but for the most part, I mean, I think she just likes to lay on her shelf and then do her own thing. So I mean, like I said, I think they're just really used to each other. And then obviously not the cameras. They're not fans of the camera, but oh goodness. But yeah, like I said, I mean, they're used to an apartment, so if they go back to an apartment, we're fine with that as well. Or if they go to a nice big house too, I'm sure they'll love that as well too.
And how are you doing number-wise for other cats or even the dogs?
Our dogs are right around the same. We did have 1 or 2 adoptions last week, so that was nice as well. But we keep getting a couple in here and there. Our cats are still quite high. We got lots of kittens. This past week we just had 9 adoptions altogether. And but yeah, so lots and lots of kittens. We just sent I think 5 kittens today, and then 3 adults. And so yeah, we're getting a bunch in, and and hoping to find them homes pretty quick.
Wow. And is there anything kind of important coming up for you guys?
Not too much. I mean, we always got a few things in the works here, so hopefully next week we can announce a few more things.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in and bringing these rambunctious little cats. I'm sure they'll find a home that's perfectly suited for them.
Yeah, and they are so there's like a 2-for-1 too. So for an adult adoption, it's $130, so it's $130 for just both.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Pet Project is brought to you by Quick Pick Waste Disposal, Lloydminster's #1 waste and recycling hauler. Quick Pick is waste collection you can depend on.
I'm Justin with Boom 101.9 and 93.7 Wayne FM, and here's what's happening. Communities in Bloom invites you to a picnic in the park. It is happening this Sunday from 11 till 2 at Wallace Park. Make sure you check this out. There's going to be food, face painting, and a coloring contest, just to name a few of the many things they have going on. It's basically the perfect way to spend a Sunday with the family, so make sure you get out there and check it out. Once again, it is happening this Sunday from 11 till 2 at Wallace Park. Moving on, the Vermilion Agriculture Society welcomes you to the 113th Annual Vermilion Fair. This all-ages event is happening the 25th to the 27th, so make sure you get out there and check this out. It's going to be very cool. It's Western Canada's largest and oldest agriculture fair, which is really neat. Once again, that is going down in Vermilion the 25th to the 27th. And last but not least, we are keeping it short and sweet this week. Celebrate the 33rd annual Irma Summer Spiel. It is happening July 30th to August 5th. You can still register your teams for the slow pitch and the curling over at irmasummerspiel.com. Registration does fill up quick, so if you haven't gotten a team put together yet, make sure you do right away if this is something that interests you. It is going to be an insane time. They've seriously jam-packed as many events as possible in these few days, so you're going to want to check this out either way. For more information, you can always check out our websites, 1019boom.com or waynefm.com. I'm Justin with Boom 101.9 and 93.7 Wayne FM, and that's what's happening.